Well, it may be a bit soggy, but that certainly hasn't deterred this fan base. A great crowd on hand to battle the raindrops at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from Nashville. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Throwing right away is Rudolph. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. Now he's free at the 35. He may go. Calvin Ridley. Touchdown, Titans. Calvin Ridley, 71 yards. And the Titans get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. First play from scrimmage all the way into the end zone. Look, the pass was good, but that run after the catch, that's what was really impressive.
And I think the big question I have is, where were the safeties? Where was the tackling? Because going into this game, they had to know that they were going to be tested. That was a part of the defense that had to stand up. And on that play, not even close.
Now the Titans leaving the offense out there. They'll go for two. They'll look to throw. And he will get in to make it 8-0. They wasted no time showing how aggressive they're going to be in this game. They get the quick score, and then they go for two, CD.
Surf's up, partner. And when surf's up, you ride the wave. They felt great about that quick drive, put in the end zone. Why not go for two? They felt comfortable with the play call that they had.
And the home crowd loves it. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. Motion man is Berrios. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, certainly not a great start. You give up the one-play touchdown, Charles, and it looked like this offense was trying to get the equalizer in one play on the other side.
They certainly were, and I think that the shock of giving up the big play may have forced their hand a little bit in their play calling. They didn't have the discipline to just say, all right, we've got time. Let's go ahead and work it downfield. Oh, you got a big play against us? We're coming right back to you. And it didn't go the way they envisioned.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Rudolph. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Rudolph. This one caught by Ridley. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Rudolph going to throw again. The quick slant caught. Touchdown! Tyler Boyd, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
From midfield, here's Tua. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Play action. Now it's Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he is caught. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate. And got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Got a man, it's Berrios complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. In for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
2 to throw again. Steps away to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane from 17 yards out. And the Dolphins get a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Forced out to his left. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Rudolph looking to throw it. He completes it to Boyd. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Rudolph. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now Rudolph. Flush to his right. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw, Rudolph. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This is 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Rudolph. Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, 31 yards. And the Titans are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's Tua. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Tua going to throw. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. In motion goes the tight end. Now Tua. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Motion man is Berrios. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Titans will take over possession here up at the 44. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 15.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And going deep for Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Titans are going to take over at their own 41. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Now inside the 25. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described, a defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
And now they'll elect to go for two and try to cut into this lead a little further before they head to the locker room. Now they send the tight end in motion left. Tua, a final shot before half. Buying time to his left. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Motion man is Berrios. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Fresh off the pick six, it's Rudolph. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Rudolph looking to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one to finally knock him on the ground and force an incomplete.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Brooks, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The drive starts with a run from Achane. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd and 7. Achane here. They stay on the ground. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Tua sets up to pass it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on fourth. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That's Tua's running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And now here is another interception. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
After the interception, here's Rudolph. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory. He's got him in, complete. Still going inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 94 yards. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Complete at the 1. And he will get into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the end zone, here's Julius Chestnut. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
2nd 10 coming up here in Nashville. Third quarter action. Here's Rudolph off play action. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. This is caught. It's Boyd. He's got room to roam. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A big play that time for the Titans. 44 yards. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. And it's a Titans touchdown. Tyler Boyd with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
They'll try and throw for it. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On play action, here's Tua. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. In motion, Hill. From the gun, it's Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Tua going to run the sneak, and he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Only needed a few inches to pick it up and get behind your center and burrow forward like he did.
And remember what the GMs have told us? We build an offensive line starting with our center, the guy who can make all the line calls and also move those big defensive tackles in order to pick up first downs.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Motion man is Berrios. Looking to pass. Tua. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They'll run for it with Achane. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive? So they convert on fourth, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 31 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit. So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2. The 2 are going to try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Rudolph looking to throw it. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. That he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now it's Rudolph. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rudolph now to throw. That is caught. Touchdown. Tyler Boyd. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this,